So let's look at the methodology again. Remember, it's an ongoing attack phase from reconnaissance to scanning, gaining access, maintaining access, covering my tracks, and from that new vantage point, starting the process again. So footprinting then is basically getting a blueprint, a security profile of your company. I'm going to do it in a methodological manner. I'm going to continue to go after every bit of information I can, like I would if I were planning any kind of attack. I want to send, I don't want to call it spies, but I want to go out there and gather what I can and have a good understanding about my target. So it's one of the 3 pre-attack phases. The others are going to be scanning and enumeration. Footprinting should give me a unique profile of your organization. I should understand a lot about your internet, intranet, your wireless systems. If I got a way of getting inside or have gotten inside, I can continue on with footprinting to get more information about those local area networks that you have inside of your company. Now, the information gathering methodology, the job here is to unearth information that you might not have considered. I want to locate network address ranges so I have an idea of where my targets are. I'm going to try to find those active machines. And then of course we get into the other steps where I'll look for open ports, access points. I'll find out what operating systems you're running. I'm going to try my best to uncover what services are running on certain ports. In other words, I'm going to make a map, a blueprint of your network. Now, what does it take to get some of that initial information? Well, there are lots of tools, and a lot of them that are available on the internet, and it's not illegal to look these things up. I can do some of the very common domain name lookups, gather locations, get the contact information that you have publicly put out onto the internet for me to use. I might use as my information sources all that open source information. Whois lookup. I could run NS lookup and start asking DNS servers to give me information about hosts that might be on your network. There are a number of tools like Sam Spade that can go out there and gather the same information for me, but a tool like Sam Spade is great because it can give it to me in an all-in-one tool. I don't have to go out and do each of these individually. I can run one tool that does all of that information gathering for me. There are a lot of Whois lookups. We're going to do some of the Whoises that you'll see that you can get to online. And one of the things I'm looking at when I get a Whois, as we'll see when I do our practical example, is names of people that I can impersonate if I want to do social engineering, phone numbers, addresses, contact information, and it's all out there because you needed to use it to register your company. I'm going to get lists of domain servers that I can try to interrogate and get host information. And depending on what kind of information, I might actually have specific email addresses that I can use to go against your company. You know, we should always register with something like domain master or webmaster or generic names that don't give away the underlying name convention that you use for your email or give me a specific email address to attack or even impersonate. The NS lookup that we'll be taking a look at is simply a program that's with all of the Windows machines from 2000 on up, NT4. NS lookup's job is to interact with their DNS servers. It gives me information that might help me as the attacker know additional hosts, IP addresses that you are maintaining for me to attack. You know, it's pretty obvious that a lot of companies have a web presence, but it's not just that web server that I'm going to be looking at. I want to know from your DNS service what other hosts, what other targets you might have. Unix and Windows both have NS lookup. If that doesn't work, you can use Sam Spade and just dig into a DNS server and try to find out what you can about the information that your company has in its own DNS servers.